Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Decepticon Red Wing. This is a Generation Selects, as you can see up there, and this is a Target exclusive. I'm assuming because he's red, Target's red, so I'm assuming that's why they chose this mold for their exclusive. I got this on Target.com. There was a short time where it was up. I think they put it up early by accident, and I was lucky to snag it. Now it is going up, and I think it's like a red card exclusive, so you have to have a red card with them, which is what their store credit card is called. So if you're looking to pick this guy up, I guess look into filling out an application or get someone who has a Target red card, because I think you're going to need to get one to pick this guy up. But as you can see, the packaging is kind of very basic. This kind of cardboard box. When I went to pick it up at Target, I had mine shipped to store. They missed it at first because the woman working the customer service counter told me she thought it was a box of shoes at first, which I have to say made me laugh. But yeah, pretty basic packaging for these selects. And then you just kind of have to cut along the dotted line here to get this guy open. And then it just swings up. And then you can see the figure inside. Let me move the camera up here. So there he is, just kind of chilling inside this box. So I'm going to go ahead and get him out of this packaging and we'll take a closer look. So here is a Red Wing out of the packaging, and I have to say they did a really nice job with his color scheme. Yes, he's mostly red, but he's got plenty of white and black and then kind of the tarnished gray coloring to break it up. And I really appreciate that. I've been really excited for the new 3-pack of the blue, green, and yellow Seekers. Their names are escaping me at the moment. And they look good, but they're like all one color, and that's it. Like, I appreciate, yes, this guy's red, but he's got a lot of other colors to break him up, and I really do appreciate that. I kind of think that Seeker 3-pack needs a little bit of color to break them up as well. But overall, really nicely painted and detailed. I think he looks good. The mold is the same as Starscream, so if you're familiar with Starscream's transformation and everything, it's all the same. I wanted to take a close-up look at his head sculpt. He's got an excellent devilish smirk there. I think they did a great job with that. And he's got some nice light piping there for the orange eyes, which looks really good. So I love that smirk. I think they did a great job with that. Here is Starscream to kind of put them next to each other for a little quick comparison. Again, I think they look really good together. We're getting that Seeker 3-pack. We're also, of course, getting Thundercracker and Skywarp. So definitely going to be army building these guys by the end of this line, which I'm kind of excited about. I mean, that's going to give us 7 right off the bat, so kind of crazy. But yeah, he looks good. Love Starscream. Love Red Wing right next to him. Very, very cool there. Articulation-wise, again, same as Starscream. Head's on a ball joint. Shoulders can go out to the side as well as forward and back. Bicep swivel. Looks like you have 2 joints there in the elbow. Wrist can swivel. Waist swivel. Front and back in the hip as well as out to the side. You have thigh swivel there. 90 degree. Actually, probably more than 90 degree. A little bit more than 90 degree in the knees. And then in the ankle, you have some out to the side tilt. You have some back and forth tilt. So definitely a lot of nice posability, and you can get some good poses with this guy. So I think he looks fantastic. Of course, he can work with any of the weaponizers, target masters, battle masters, whatever you want to call them. Go ahead and use any of those. He does have ports. You can see that there's some here on the forearms. He has these ones on the shoulders, which kind of his included guns fit into. He's got 2 back here on the wings. He's got 2 here on the side of each leg. Or I should say 1 on the side of each leg. And I believe they can fit into these. So if you wanted to peg something into his back, you could certainly do that as well, like a weaponizer or something like that. So really nice articulation, really nice play features there. Of course, if you just want him to hold the guns, he can do that as well. They fit into his hand. And then if you wanted to peg something like this in there, you could. That hole's a little bit loose on mine, but You can also take the effect piece off of this and put it onto the end of the gun, which I think is a nice touch. So I think that's pretty cool as well. So a lot of nice options with this guy. I think it's a lot of playability. I love the play pattern of this line. And yeah, I love the robot mode. I think he looks absolutely fantastic. Let's go ahead and get into the transformation. Alright, so since the transformation is exactly the same as Starscream, I'm going to go a little bit faster than I normally do. Remove the two guns, put them off to the side, open up the side of the forearm like that. You're going to rotate the fist up and in, then you're going to collapse it on the bicep and then close it up. Do the same over here on this side. There you go. All right, cool. So then you have the arms ready. Come down to the legs, kind of straighten them out. Collapse the feet around the afterburner, the back of the jet there. Then you're going to come to the back, and this part's a little tricky, but you kind of have to just rock this away. There you go. Basically, you can see that there's two slots right there, and then there's two pretty tall pegs right there. So you want to make sure that's unconnected. I don't think unconnected is a word. Anyway, then you're going to fold these down a little bit just to get you a little bit of room. Rotate the waist around 180 degrees. You're going to come into the back here. Let me zoom in. There's a little piece of black plastic back here that you're going to flip up. And this has a tiny little peg on it, which is going to peg into the back of his head. And basically the reason for this is to just keep his head nice and firm and sturdy for when you rotate it back. It's only going to go about that far back. Don't make the mistake of trying to push it all the way back because it's not going to do it and you don't want to break it. So leave it like that. At this point you can unpeg the chest and kind of just lift this up in this area, but don't peg it all the way down yet. And you can kind of bring the arms down about there. Before you bring the arms down too far, you're going to want to rotate the legs at the knee. Push this piece down. It's spring-loaded, which is kind of cool. Push that down, and you can see that there's kind of a long tab here, and that's going to peg into this tab slot on the back of his crotch. So you're going to bring this around. Peg that in. Do the same for the other one. Make sure that's actually pegged in. There we go. And then you're going to rotate the arm around. You can see that there are two slots on the back of his arm, which will peg into the two slots right there on the side of his leg. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do those, and I'll come right back. All right, so once you have those both plugged into the side of the feet, you can bring these forward, and they will peg into each other like that. This whole assembly will rock forward. You can bring the wings down, and the wings they have a little tab right there, so you just want to make sure that that fits underneath on the long fuselage. So there you go. And then there are actually tabs here that will peg into the top of the hands. So after you connect them in, push that down. There we go. You heard them snap into place. Last step, this lifts up, rotates back around, and pushes in. And then this lifts up and kind of pushes against that. And there you go. There is Red Wing in his vehicle mode. So I think he looks great. Again, yes, he's very red, but he's got a lot of nice black, orange, a little bit maroon to break him up. So I think they did a great job with the color scheme. Of course, you can bring those guns back in. You can either peg them under the wings in these spots right here. So if you like that look, or you can just put them back into the holes on the arms if you prefer that. I mean, it's not much of a different look, but depending on which one you prefer, I kind of keep going back and forth. At first I thought I liked the arms better, but now I might like it attached to the wings better. We'll stick with that for now. But yeah, definitely looks good. like I said, this mold is definitely growing on me. I always liked it, but I did feel like there was kind of a bunch of kibble underneath. But I think they did a decent job with how tightly it compacts, and it doesn't really show like a ton of robot kibble. Like, yes, you can tell their arms and legs, but it doesn't. It's not so glaring as like an entire robot laid down, which sometimes you see. Uh, but yeah, this has really grown on me, and now I'm kind of looking forward to army building these with a ton of different repaints of this mold. And I think it especially makes sense because all those other Seekers were shown in the More Than Meets the Eye 3-parter on Cybertron in this alt mode. So instead of having them all be the jets that we've seen, we're having them all be this weird, like Cybertronian triangle jet, whatever you want to call this thing. But it makes sense to have those characters in this alt mode. So that's another reason why I'm kind of really excited. But yeah, Red Wings alt mode definitely looks fantastic. I really like Red Wing a lot, and if you have the opportunity, I definitely suggest picking them up. Like I said, at first that whole new Seeker mold didn't really pop with me, but the more I see it and the more different color schemes I see it in, I've started to really, really like it. It's really grown on me. And now I'm just kind of really excited about the idea of having a ton of different Seekers in this mold. So again, I love Red Wing. I don't usually like red things. It's one of my least favorite colors, but he's got enough white and black and other colors to break it up. And I think they painted him very beautifully. And I definitely think that this guy's worth picking up. So if you have the opportunity, go to Target.com. If you have a red card, pick this guy up. I think he's great. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.